Okay? That's what we're gonna do. Bam. Throw that in the air fryer on the correct side. I don't even wait for this thing to preheat. It's fine. You don't have to get that crazy. So, same thing for my vegetables. You can just, put a little olive oil in there. That's what I do. I think this time I'll use my fave. Again, very fancy. Garlic salt. Boom, boom. Little pepper. I don't like combining salt and garlic salt. That's a little too much salt for me. But if you like salt, do what you love. So, I'll wait for that. Okay, so they finish at the same time. And don't worry guys, that's not all the food like we're gonna share here. I got stuff already made, so you won't be starving. Yeah, exactly. Alright, so while that's going, let's talk a little bit about ancient grains. Let's see, pass these out, please. So, ancient grains, really, what are they? They're stuff you've probably eaten a bazillion times, but the big thing about them is they're largely unchanged over the last several hundred years. So a lot of this stuff, you're hearing about it in the Bible. You're hearing about it in, even before that, thousands of years before that, these ancient grains. What are some examples? There's wheat varieties, spelt, farro, durum. I love farro. That's got a really nutty flavor. Barley, rye, oats, oatmeal.
There's the next one right there.
There's oats and ancient grains. They're generally corn, quinoa, and sorghum. Sorghum's what we're going to talk about tonight. Not real common in the U.S. We're going to talk about that. They're more nutritious than refined grains like your white flours and such. But common whole grains like, straight up cracked wheat and all that, that's just as nutritious. It's just maybe not as fancy. That's okay. But it's definitely more nutritious than refined grains like white flour. There's a lot of gluten-free options. I don't have a gluten issue. I know a lot of people do. Sorghum is one that we're going to have tonight, is gluten-free. And what's really great about them and why I got so turned on to them is they're sustainable. Many survive with low levels of pesticides, less water, less fertilizer, less energy needed to produce them. And as we're evolving as a species and overpopulating this planet, that's something that we really need to pay attention to, our sustainable farming practices. All right, so that's just on ancient grains in general. So I want to talk to you guys now a little bit more specifically about sorghum. So sorghum is just amazing in my opinion. It's one of the most efficient crops in solar and water use. It's drought tolerant, it's environmentally friendly, gluten-free like I mentioned. And then, bam, listen to this nutrition, okay? 1 serving, half cup cooked, which, by the way, guys, you cook a cup of this bad boy, you got enough to feed an army, okay? You're gonna see, I have 2 huge containers. It was only about 2.5 cups of the little pearl sorghum, all right? Half cup cooked, double the protein of quinoa, double the iron of a sirloin steak.
Oh my gosh.
B6 equivalent to more than 7 cups of raw, forgot the word, spinach, okay? Tryptophan, mood boosting, and it's great, at night, like you hear about turkey, Thanksgiving, tryptophan. Okay, like I said earlier, fiber, warning, lots of fiber. If you don't need a lot of fiber, toe into this lightly. You guys, I'm starting you off with like half a cup of this, because if you go whole hog, you'll feel it. For me, it's great. How to cook it? Super easy. Stove pot or instant pot. I do the stove top. What you want is a 3.5 cup water ratio, or broth. If you're going to only use it for savory stuff, feel free to use your broth. To 1 cup sorghum. Well, that'll make about 3 cups cooked. Okay, so that's a lot when you're talking about half a cup serving. That's 6 servings right there, right? So that's how I do it. Usually in water because I use it for sweet and savory over the course of the week. You can also make ahead and freeze it in little baggies. Sometimes I do that for work and I take up all the freezer space at work and annoy my coworkers and make some good stuff in the kitchen and they're jealous as heck. I have not mastered this yet, but I have tried it several times. You can pop it for snacks. You can do it on the stovetop in oil, and you can do it in the microwave just in a paper bag. I have not mastered that, but I read about it all the time, and people have mastered that. So how how you serve it. You can eat it alone like oatmeal. Put a little almond milk in there, heat it up. It's delicious on its own. Maybe a little banana. It's really good. I like to eat it for breakfast a lot, sweet. So I will take some of that. I will take some frozen fruits that I get from right down the street here at Aldi. Heat them up in the microwave. If you're real fancy, you could do it on the stove, but who's got time for that with a job and kids? I use the microwave, heat it up, throw the sorghum in there, maybe a little more almond milk, stir that up, put some Greek yogurt on top. That's a great breakfast. You want a little crunch? Add some edamame, salted edamame. It's delicious. It's very filling. You can eat a little bit of this, you're filled, you're fueled till lunch, and it is good stuff. Obviously, like, I could probably eat a little more. I'm trying to at this point to gain some muscle, but this is so nutritious, you honestly don't have to. So it's very, like, on a hot day like this, I love eating something like this because you don't want to feel super full, but you want to be fueled and have that nutrition and your muscles be ready to go for the day, right? So the other way you can do it is in lunch bowls, dinner bowls. That's what we're gonna do tonight, savory. My mom's tried it, she liked it. So you can utilize it with roasted vegetables and another protein. I mean, honestly, you don't even need another protein. I'm gonna go out here and say I'm not a vegetarian, so sometimes I do throw some fish on there. I would not recommend throwing on a bunch more fiber like chickpeas or anything like that. Like I said, it'll be a little overkill. But yeah, throw some tofu on there. That's what we're gonna do tonight. So, any questions on sorghum? Oh, one more thing. You'll see it in the store a lot around here, but it's gonna be the ground, okay? And people do use it for baking quite commonly. I'm talking tonight about whole grain sorghum, and it's a pearled variety. Where I get it is Indian food stores, okay? And it's typically called jowar millet, Jowar millet, Millet. So I had to recruit my brother to get me this from Novi because there's not a lot of Indian stores around here. Luckily, I have a lot of Indian friends too at work, and they hook me up from time to time with some pretty cool stuff. So that's all about sorghum.